Here comes the sun. Do 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 do. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright. Do 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 do. Here it comes. It's already up. Where are you guys? Where's everybody? There's Fred. Hi, Fred. Good morning. Good morning on this most beautiful Friday morning. It is Friday. It is morning, and that's a sunrise. I am staring at the sun right now. Remember how we were told never to look straight at the sun? Remember that song? Mama always told me not to look into the eyes of the sun. But mama, that's where the fun is. That's a great song, isn't it? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Look at me. I just woke up. I literally rolled out of bed, and here we are. I'm going to braid my hair. It's way more beautiful than I am right now, Fred. No, that's really gorgeous. I'm a sun worshiper. You know, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. I think the sun is also the sun. I really do. I think the sun is more important than we even can imagine. In our lives, you know, the sun is everything. You hear the birds. It's so peaceful here. The water looks like glass this morning. So gorgeous. Gotta love Florida. Big fluffy clouds. No chemtrails. Just a beautiful morning. Getting ready for the weekend. I can barely believe that it's the end of March already. This is Lauderdale by the Sea. Good morning, Brittany. Oh, the sun's really up now. And I'm looking right into it, and it feels marvelous. I've been researching that the first light of the sun, like this, is the most beneficial for your body. That it gets into the cones of your eyes, and it literally wakes you up. I'll bet you're freezing in Canada. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Abdallah. Gotta come to Florida. Ever since I came to Florida, the sun rules my world, and it has changed my life. Where are you going, Brittany? Hey, Nameless. You know, the water here is not usually this calm to where it looks like a mirror of the sky. These are not the regular conditions, but it's the best conditions. Glad you're here, Nameless. PCB? PCB. Palm. What's PCB stand for? Palm something beach? Panama City Beach, okay. I love Panama City. I was there for the first time last May, and that is a cool place. I love the Gulf Coast. It's so different than Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, Brittany, you're going to still be cold for a while, right? March does not mean that spring is here to you, right? It means that it could still snow. I used to live in Pittsburgh, so I know what it's like to live in a very cold, rainy place in the winter. Cold, rainy, snowy, sleet, all of it. But this is what I live for. This is why I live in Florida. Thank you, Abdullah. You too. So I've been dog sitting at this mansion all week. I'm fortunate enough to be able to wake up with the sun and join you guys. It's been a great start to my day. I hope it's also been good for you. I'm not going to do this every single day, but being in these conditions like this, it's just perfect. So I'd be crazy not to. I don't know what's going on in the world. I don't know what's going on in the news, and I do not even care. Oh, Josh, you're not wrong. The jaw-dropping sunsets are definitely over in the west, but the east does not have the best sunrises. I mean, the west does not have the best sunrises. That's the east. I mean, this is where the sun comes up, right? So how could the west be better than this? Or do you mean the southwest of our country? I think there's just nothing like the sun coming up over the beach, which it is right now. You can't see the beach from here because of those houses, but the beach is on the other side of those houses. Good morning, John. Good morning, everybody. It's sunrise in America. All right, what does everybody want to talk about today? I am an empty canvas, a blank slate, starting my Friday. oh no, that's not true. I have been to New Mexico. I don't know anything about New Mexico. I just drove through and spent one night there. Hey, Jay Stewart. It sounds like most everybody has crappy weather this morning except for me, so I think you want to be on the beach report this morning. You know what would be perfect? Some critters. Some manatees, some dolphins. If you guys saw me last night, I was walking over that bridge and I talked to the fishermen beneath it. And they told me that they see manatee all the time. They see dolphins occasionally, but they said they see manatees all the time, and I've never seen them. John, I am writing a new book. Would you like to talk about that? I wouldn't mind talking about that. I'm actually working on at least 3 new books right now. Wait, let's go back to our sunrise. One is a sequel to my book, Do You Think About Me, on my birthday. It's called 7 Years in Switzerland. And it's a doozy, and it's really hard to work on because it keeps taking me down rabbit holes. It's hard with a book about your own life because, you know, it's got a lot of details. Yeah, at least 3, John. It's actually more than that. But I can't work on 3 books at once. I mean, I can't work on more than 3 books at once. I can handle 3 at once. I just kind of rotate. Good morning, Bruno. The light just got bright in here too at the same time. That's interesting. Anyway, 7 years in Switzerland is the story of how I left America and moved to Switzerland for more than 7 years. I was there really for 10 years, but I call the book 7 Years in Switzerland because that's about how long it took me to acclimate to this other country, learn a completely foreign language, become a Swiss citizen. It was a lot. And what led me to go there was a lot too. I left this country out of disappointment, sadness, yes, even fear. Fear for the future of my future children I didn't even have yet. Disappointment in all of my parents, the ones who adopted me and the ones who gave me up for adoption. And also worried about the food in this country. Watching everybody get fat, watching everybody eat food out of boxes and the freezer and just not natural. You know, people just eating things that didn't really seem like food to me. I don't like fast food. I don't like chemicals in my food. And American food companies, well, I don't know if you know this, but the cigarette companies back in the, I believe the late 70s, early 80s, you know, they got in a lot of trouble for pushing carcinogen causing cigarettes on society. So they had to sell it. Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know, Jay Stewart. Okay, here's my face. I'm not really ready for prime time on the camera, but I don't care. Maybe I should braid my hair or something. I know. I literally just rolled out of bed. All right, dogs. It's okay. Everyone's fine. Everybody's fine. Yeah, they're barking at the dude next door. Anyway, here's my face. See if the algorithm likes me a little better right now. Thank you for pointing that out, Jay Stewart. I always appreciate you. I know that, girls. I know. Here, I'll show you the little doggies this morning. Look at them. They're so cute. That's Gracie, and that's Whitney. Hey, guys. Don't bark at people. Nobody likes that. Thank you, Fred. Yeah, nobody likes being barked at, girls. All right, they're precious. Put it back on my little stand here. Anyway, my book, 7 Years in Switzerland. It starts out, actually, at the beginning of my television writing career. I became a television writer in 1988. I started writing for Nickelodeon. And boy, my mama always said, girl, you need to wear lipstick. So my face washes out when I don't wear lipstick. So let's see if mama's right. Got some lipstick. Alrighty then. Instantly better. It's amazing. But I don't mind the camera on me. It's just, I mean, I'm so used to it, you know. And I really, I'm not so worried about what I look like because you guys have pretty much seen me in every way I could be. No makeup, dressed up, not dressed up, rolled out of bed, hair done. All this stuff. It's not about me. It's about you. Yes, I'm on track for the start of a great day. Okay, so I actually am really glad that Jay Stewart, or was it John, who asked about my new books, because I have to get to work on them. So I mentioned to you I'm writing another book um, that is kind of unconventional, and it's called, so I changed the title a little bit. It's called F dot U dot C dot K exclamation point. Not just F-U-C-K exclamation point, but with a period in between every letter, because that word, that word is actually not even a word. It is a, it starts with an A. What is that term for a word that, like, you know, really means, it means fornication under something. I know you guys know what it means. It's like escaping my mind. It's a little early, and I need my coffee, Mark. Did you bring me some coffee too? I don't think my books will ever be bestsellers because I'm not going to mainstream my books. I do everything on my own, and that means, for me, look at the sun. For me, that means absolutely no Amazon. I'm not putting my books on Amazon. I'm not putting them in bookstores. I'm not going to mainstream my books. I feel like if you want to buy my book, or my books with an S, if you want to read what I wrote because you watch my shows, because you love me, then you will buy my books. That's it. Michigan. Michigan sounds cold. My daughter's working on a story. Not sure how that's going, though. She's 14. She won't let me see it. No, she'll never let you see it. Maybe someday. When I was her age, that's how I started out. So you have a budding writer in your midst. Be very, very careful how you handle that little girl. Because we writers, we're a special kind of breed. And most writers are not like me. Most writers will not come on camera and talk to you like this. Most writers hide. We don't like to be out in public. And I am no exception. I used to be this way too. When I was a little girl, like your daughter, 14 years old, and I was plotting my future, I kept thinking, I want to be behind the camera. I want to be behind the newspaper. You know, I want to be the name. I don't want to be the face. I did, when I went to college, I did go into, oh, wow, it's really bright. I have to hide. I have to hide behind a little tree here so it's not so bright. Well, now you can't see the sunrise. A bunny freighter? A what? I don't know. I said something you didn't understand, and I don't understand it either. Anyway, young writers, they don't want anyone to see them. And there's a reason for that. It's because they want you to hear them. I didn't ever want anyone to see me when I was a little girl because, honestly, I was too cute. I didn't like being cute. I didn't like the people looking at me and saying things about me like, oh, she's so pretty. Look at her pretty hair. Look at her little face. Good morning, Giselle. Giselle. West Palm Beach. No, this is Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, so anyway, I didn't like people commenting on the way I looked because I don't really have any control over the way I looked. But I have control over the things that I say. Gracie, what are you doing? Sorry, she had leaves all over her little face. Let me just go check quick on Whitney. What you doing, Whitney? All right, now Whitney's AWOL. Where's Whitney? Where's Whitney? I swear I have to do this at least 3 times a day. Look for Whitney. And I know where she is because she always comes over here. Whitney! Get over here. What are you doing? Get over here. Yeah, look at this. Look at this little stinker. Get over here. Why are you always coming over here? There's literally nothing to do over here, but she comes over here and I don't know if she's hiding or what she's looking for. All right, come on, dogs. Come on. All dogs. All dogs. Wow, that's an interesting boat. Look at that. Never really seen a boat with a little top on it like that. Hey, Gracie. Hi, YOLO, but I'm not eating. I'm fasting since last night. Look at that. I love the way the mirror, ooh, it's a mirror effect. Wow. How beautiful is that, you guys? Lighthouse Point is north of us. Okay, so Jay Stewart says, yes, your daughter's just like that. Yeah, if you have any questions, I can tell you everything to do with your daughter. And but the most important thing about your daughter as a writer, like I said, she doesn't want to be seen. She wants to be, she wants to be heard. She wants to be understood. She wants to get her point across. And she's using her words. So she's very special. Well, Larry, I guess I'm lucky I don't own a home. I don't really own anything. I don't even own my car. Still paying that one off. I guess I'm living in this world where, you know, you'll own nothing and be happy. I am happy at owning nothing. What do you mean you're pushing YouTube videos being seen? No dogs, no barking. Calm yourselves. Now they're barking at another dog who's barking from far away. Why does everybody bark? Oh, that dog's little yappers. Hey, you little yappers. Ignore that dog. Whitney. Gracie. Yeah, property taxes are stupid. You buy a house and then you have to pay for it your whole life, no matter if you've paid it off. You have to keep paying and paying and paying. Taxes are stupid. Taxes are horrible. Yeah, it's a dog's job. Dog's job to bark. Yeah, that's a job I think they need to be a little bit more, you know, discerning about when they use their barking. My face is seen by 60 million people, but I guess it no longer matters. No one bothers me. Ooh, what does that mean, Jay Stewart? Who are you? Are you a famous person? Are you a model? Are you an entrepreneur? Now I'm all interested. You never know who's watching you on YouTube, right? You know, nobody bothers me either. I don't get recognized outside of YouTube. You left Florida because of the high taxes? It was by accident. Oh gosh, please tell me more. Tell me more. This is not Las Vegas. It is so interesting to me how everybody thinks I'm in a different place than I am. And I have heard everything from, what is this? Somebody thought I was somewhere really exotic the other day. But to me, this isn't exotic. This is home. It's just Florida. Nashville. Well, there's no ocean in Nashville, Larry, so that's a problem. Good morning, Dodie. Hello. Good morning, Solar. Good to see you. You're a little late, Solar. You're usually earlier than this. There we go. May I present Le Sunrise. Yes, driving to Key West is a lot of fun. There's a very cool place in the middle of Las Vegas that looks just like that, 20 minutes from the Strip. Las Vegas? Looks like this? Really? That's interesting. Thank you for agreeing with me, Larry. What are we agreeing about? Wait, let me go back. Oh, living in Nashville is cheaper. But has no ocean and not a lot of water. I don't know. I have only been to Nashville once in my life. It's 72 degrees. Did you looked it up? 72. Thank you. It feels like 72. Hey, Arellen. I think it's crazy that anyone would think I'm sexy. Those days are so over. But thank you, I guess. Yeah, totally surprising. Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Yeah, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. I love that song. Oh, somebody has a problem with their feet. You don't want to see my toes, for sure. Shabbat Shalom, yeah, Shabbat Shalom, woo, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Larry, why did you leave Florida? I can't leave Florida. I'll never leave Florida. I love Florida. Although I'm about to have a grandchild up north, and so I have to leave Florida. And let's see, it's March. Like 5 weeks, I'll be heading up to meet one person I've been waiting my entire life to meet. Good morning, Amy. How are you doing on this beautiful day? It's so gorgeous. Good morning, Wisconsin. Jay Stewart says, I sometimes show my feet just to show off that I walk barefoot outside during the winter. I walk barefoot most of the time myself. What's this best friend stuff? I'm missing that. Brandon, everybody should go to Florida. So thank you, Fred. I am over the moon. I am so excited. You have no idea. I'm going to love on this person. I cannot wait. I was born in Denver, Colorado, and I was raised in Pittsburgh. And now I'm a Floridian forever. I didn't know that I really belonged in Florida. It took me a long time to move here. My little sister knew that she belonged in Florida a lot before I did. She lived here 20 years before I moved here. Yeah, you want your feet to be tough. Yeah, you do. Tough feet. Oh my goodness gracious, look at this. Wow, that's a big boat. That's not a boat, that's a yacht. That could well be a super yacht. Hey, Jetty, I haven't seen you. How are you? I missed you. Oh, Jesus coming back. Well, I'm waiting for that. Well, good morning, Jack. I'm glad my stream's popping up in the mornings since I've been doing these morning shows. I think they've been really good, not just for me, but for everybody. I know, right, Gracie? I can't believe it took me so long to move to Florida. I should have come here right after college. Yeah, that is millions of dollars floating by. And this little boat is no slouch either. That's a very beautiful little boat. But compared to that, wow, big difference. Yes, my biological father was Jewish and my biological mother was not. So I was converted to Judaism as a little tiny infant by a Jewish family and children's. And then I was adopted by a Jewish couple. That's how it happened. That's how Jill became Jewish. And then in 2018, I decided that there was a lot more to the story that I didn't know. And I accepted Jesus as my Lord and Savior. It is strange how some people have millions and millions of dollars and they buy boats like this. It is strange. It's a whole different life. Or maybe they're Somalian. I don't know. You know, these days, you see a lot of really rich people here in Florida. And I gotta say, most of them don't look American. They don't look American. The people who own this home, they are definitely American. But the people in the next house don't look American. I think they're Indian. And that's a big mansion. It's very interesting, all the mansions. I actually, personally, I've lived in mansions my whole life. Not because I'm wealthy, but because I'm always around wealthy people. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that I noticed that most of the millionaires around here are not American. Just gotta wonder. If I lived in Minnesota next to a Somalian family that was driving $200,000 cars and wearing big blingy rocks, I would wonder about that. Good morning, Gretchen. Jay Stewart says, I would just see a big boat as an annoying burden to own and would want someone else to drive it for me as I would find it boring, and then I would get bored out there stuck in the water. That is, yeah. Yes, I love the big fancy houses. I do. I like to live in nice places, but I don't ever have the funds to do it for myself. So I hang around these people and they let me soak it in. Dodie says there are over 100 billionaires in Florida. Wow. Well, I believe it because I see their houses. There's the sun. Woo! Okay, now it's over all that cloud coverage and it looks amazing. Yeah, Jay Stewart understands. Staying in $3 million homes, watching cats. I'm watching dogs. Yeah, that's what we do. I have one child on the East Coast. I have another child on the West Coast. They're off living their lives. One of them is about to give birth. So that's exciting. I can't wait for that. The only thing I don't like about big boats is you usually can't touch the water. If I'm around water, I want to touch the water and put my feet in it. I hear you, Gracie. Although this is the intercoastal waterway, it's not that it's like really dirty. I just can't imagine putting my feet in this water. Oh, here comes the fast boat. You got a fast boat. I got a boat. Get a little boat. I'll show you the bridge is up. So that fast boat can zip right through, except that's a no wake zone. But they're gonna go for it. This is Fort Lauderdale, Florida. If you go to the end of Key West, that is nice to see the sunset there. Ah, Mallory Square. You cannot beat Mallory Square. And can stay at a government-run campsite for $50 a night. That's true. Look at that catamaran. That's a beaut. Well, you can see the weekend is definitely turning into a big boating weekend. It's barely sunrise and everybody's got their boats out. Jetty, I see you. I see you. Wait, are you making more comments that I'm not seeing? There's no crocs in the water here, Joan. I have never ever seen a crocodile or an alligator in Fort Lauderdale. And I've lived here 11 years. I'm not saying there couldn't be one, because there absolutely could, but they're not here. This is Lauderdale by the sea. Yeah, Jetty, I have heard from some people that they don't always, they make comments and they don't always come through. I don't know why YouTube is doing that. Yeah, that's the little yapper over there. Look at that little dog. Calm yourself. So speaking of YouTube and Facebook, did you hear about the trouble they're in? YouTube and Facebook were sued earlier this week. And one of the witnesses was I believe it was a young woman. And she testified that at the age of 6, she became addicted to YouTube videos. All right, Jetty, I'm worried about it. I'm always worried. No, I'm not. I'm actually a very worry-free person. Why would you think I'm a witch? I'm an American, but why would you ever think I'm a witch? I don't believe in witchcraft. I believe in Jesus. Yeah, no free speech on YouTube. I think free speech has, we're in trouble with the free speech, especially on these outlets. Half my shit gets auto-blocked. I'm done caring about it. I hear you. I also have words on my show that get flagged. Gracie says we have pretty lakes in Texas. Yeah, and are there any gators in your lakes? Jay Stewart bought a small $3,000 River Hawk boat and a $3,000 motor that could go 30 miles an hour and rode 80 miles all over Moosehead Lake in Maine, stayed on islands, no one around. That sounds like heaven. Yeah, Boca is 20. I love you, Toady. Boca is 21 miles north. Yeah, not a witch. Thank you, Gracie. I am always surprised by the things that strangers will say to me on YouTube. It really kind of boggles my mind. I guess you think I look like a witch because I'm 60 years old and I have long gray hair. I guess that's why. Sometimes you do get warned as an older woman, don't let your hair grow long. People will think you look like a witch. But, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. Oh, I love Tampa. I love the East Coast. I love the West Coast. Gators in the lakes down by our coast, but not where I live. Is that in Texas, Gracie? That there's gators? We have gators throughout the South, as long as these aren't my dogs barking. Jay Stewart says, I'm watching the gaming platforms that are supposed to be for adults, but they're truly built to attract kids. Yes, they are really bad. They are. So yeah, let's talk about it. YouTube and also Facebook have been going after American children. I understand that Mark Zuckerberg, yes, I call him Zuckerberg because I do not like him at all. And I especially don't like the fact that he has children with his Chinese handler wife, and he won't let them see anything on YouTube, Facebook. He won't let them touch it because he knows what he's done. Hey, Triple, what's your problem? Is that how you talk to strangers? Don't be rude. Now, the kid being addicted to YouTube, that is a parenting issue. Actually, Jay Stewart, it is not just a parenting issue, because parents were told that YouTube Kids was safe, and they did not realize that actually some of those videos on YouTube Kids were the opposite of safe. So parents were actually misled into believing that they could let their children watch cartoons and things on YouTube, when it turns out that a lot of those cartoons were promoting, let's say, love is love. You know what that promotes. Everybody should love who they want. Yeah, for little kids, you know what that promotes. It is a free market. It's all about giving people what they want, maximum super entertainment. I think it's worse, actually. Actually, Jay, I think what's happening right now with social media, I don't think it's social media anymore. I think it's social engineering now. I have studied it. YouTube Kids is extremely dangerous for children. And there are people making videos that should not be anywhere near children, if you know what I mean. The video will start and it will look like it's for children, and then the parents will maybe walk away and don't realize that it is not for children at all. Dodie says, my 4-year-old grandson was watching a cartoon, and then all of a sudden his mom walked in and there were 2 girls kissing. That was the end of that. There was no need to have to put that in. Exactly, Dodie. That's what they do on these YouTube videos. They turn it into something it shouldn't be. It's like smoking. Now it is hiring psychologists to completely manipulate the mind into being sucked in and never stop watching. That's exactly what's going on. And it's also happening to adults. I mean, how many times do you doom scroll? How many times do you wake up in the morning and think, I'm just going to look at my phone for a second, and the next thing you know, you're scrolling through absolute garbage? The best part of social media for me is when I turn it off. Yeah, Joe. Gracie says, I went out to dinner last night with friends. We all put our phones down to visit. Finally. Social manipulation, definitely, Neville. Jay says, yes, all I do is think about how we are being manipulated. Literally in every way, not just manipulated, but lied to. Constantly told the wrong things. Remember COVID, when they told us to hide in our houses? You know, they made fresh air and sunshine dangerous. Well, they always make sunshine dangerous. I mean, we've been hearing since the, I guess, late 70s, early 80s, that the sun would give us cancer and kill us. I was about, I guess, 10 years old, maybe, 1975, maybe a little older, 10, 11, 12, something like that. My father was a plastic surgeon, and he gave us this new invention called sunscreen. Remember when sunscreen was invented? Yeah, Daddy said, everybody put this stuff on your skin. Gave us all this white liquidy stuff, and you know what it looks like. And said we had to put that on our skin. It would protect us from the sun. And I did what I was told. I was a good little girl. And I put it on my skin, and I thought, this chemical's on my skin. I don't like it at all. And I always loved the sun, and I always wanted to have a little suntan. So my dad giving me something that would block the sun from my skin was anathema to me. And I thought, no, I don't want this. So I never put it on again. I just did it the one time, and I felt the chemicals in my skin. And Gracie, get over here. Come on. Come on. Look at this girl. Look at her. Look at her. She's a little sneaky dog. She's a sneaky little puffball. Come here, you little puffball. Come here. Do you see her little face? Look how cute she is. Come here. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Okay. I know it looks like I'm standing in front of a flawless green screen, but if I were standing in front of a green screen, you would see my hair do some weird things. It'd be like, yeah. So it's not a green screen. I'm going to go to a lake around here soon, and I'll do a video and send it to me. Thank you, Gracie. I'd love to see that. I'll post it too. There are beaches you can't wear sunscreen because it harms the fish in the coral reefs, but you'll put it on your skin, right? That's crazy. Yeah, Florida has canals, but this is not a canal. This is the Intercoastal Waterway, the major one. I don't know you. Don't call me babe. I don't even know where you live. Right, Jetty? Anyway, YouTube, Facebook, not just not just bad for children, but bad for adults too, don't you think? Oh, here's another one. Hi, Eric. I don't date anybody. Not younger men, not older men, not men my own age. Nobody. No dating here. I am a widow. I'm still married to my husband in heaven, and I love him very much, and don't have room in my life for any man that's not in heaven. You're not my child. Why are you calling me mom? Yeah, wait, that wasn't a mod calling me babe. I don't even know who that is. But Jorn Depp is not a mod. So, no. No, there's no mods that would be calling me babe. I know all my mods. Yeah, I'm not your mom. Why are people so crazy on YouTube? Why do you guys say these things to me? Oh, there's a normal person. Hello, two-stroke. Good morning. Yeah, and a child trying to trigger me. No, I know how many people I gave birth to. It's only 2. Invitation as a guest on English with Jenny, a podcast about insightful conversations. Okay. Would I like to be a guest on your podcast, English with Jenny? Actually, I would. That sounds like a great idea. Thank you for inviting me. Send me a message. You can email me, I guess, at info@jillbooks.com. Email me there, Jenny, and I would love to talk to you. They will never see me break down in rage because I don't do that. I know, they like to, I know, right? They are retarded. They are so retarded. Thank you, Jay Stewart. Great insight here. Make that mental wall within to block them from triggering you. They don't trigger me. It's kind of impossible to trigger me, but they are disturbing, I must admit. I mean, people who say things like this, you have to wonder, like, who are you? What's wrong with you? And like here, like this Matthew, I think they're bots, so I'm just gonna get rid of them. I don't really know what they're doing. Anyway, they can get me to go off topic. Yes, they do. They're good at disturbing. They are. So that said, I'm just gonna block everyone that tries to throw me off my game. So thank you. Yeah, I don't get triggered, but okay, I sent you a message in one of your shorts. So thank you, English with Jenny. Oh wait, Janelle. You're not Jenny, you're Janelle. And that's interesting because I am also an English teacher, so I really kind of like that. It's very much vibing with me. Hi, Nathan. I became an English teacher when I lived in Switzerland, and people needed to learn English. My mother was actually an English teacher, which is the very best way to be raised, to be a writer when your mother's an English teacher, and you learn it all. I'm looking forward to it too. I think it'll be very interesting. I love to have interesting conversations with interesting people. Jay says, I would just ignore them unless they start upsetting or trolling another in the audience, or I would just tell the audience that you can block each other. Yes, and you can block each other, just so you guys know. Moosehead Lake. I love it when everybody talks to each other, though, in the chat. I think that's very cool. I grew up in Basel, Switzerland, buffet. Good morning, Anthony. I do have beautiful penmanship, Jetty. I actually do. I'm very proud of my penmanship. When I was a little girl, I would practice for hours. I'll never forget. When I was in 7th grade, there was a little girl in my class, and her name was Wendy Wilson. And she made the most beautiful W's. And I practiced for hours to learn how to make W's, just like Wendy Wilson. I try not to block so numbers get higher. Thank you. That's true too. Jay Stewart's in Virginia, but only drove to Moosehead. I'm not Swiss. No, I am Swiss. I actually got Swiss citizenship. So technically, um, not by birth or anything, but I did get Swiss citizenship, which is quite the accomplishment. You know, it's very hard to become a Swiss citizen. You have to prove to the Swiss that you are there because you want to be Swiss. You're there because you speak the language, you have friends, you're part of the community. I think anybody, hi OG, anybody who moves to another country should want all the same things. I think that is where we went wrong in America, by letting people come into our country who don't love our country and in fact are only here to take advantage of us. Thank you, Amy. Have a wonderful day too. The immigration laws in the United States are like nowhere else in the world. Well, I don't know if it's the laws, maybe it's the willingness to break the immigration laws like nowhere else in the world. Most countries appreciate that they have borders and that they have citizens. And this country, people talk about it like it's a melting pot. But it's only a melting pot if everybody melts together, right? If we all come together as Americans and do things for the good of our country and for the good of our society. It's not a melting pot when you let people come into your country who hate you and look at you like a piggy bank and think constantly of ways to take advantage of your good nature. That's not a melting pot. And people who then will throw Jesus in the face of someone like me and say, you know, well, Jesus loves everybody. He'd let everybody in. That's not true. That is not true. Jesus also wanted people to treat each other with love and respect. Maine looks like a nice place to live, but they told me you have to work together with people to survive the winter. We are trained to be selfish in America. No, we're not. No, we're not, Jay Stewart. We are trained to be selfless in America. We are trained to think that we should be giving everything we have to everybody else. Jetty says, Jill, you made me think about this one lady I've been watching lately. Have you heard of Sarah Gonzalez? She's been on a warpath. I think I have heard of Sarah Gonzalez, but I don't watch her or anything. And what is she on the warpath about? Immigration? Well, thank you, Sham. Good morning, Eljo. Hi, Jay. Self-sufficient. Lewis says, everyone thinks they're better than everyone sending money to family back home, like Crido dump and dump cause our currencies 50 times more theirs. They'll run it into the ground and not care. I think it's great that I believe President Trump has just made a law saying that if you're on welfare in America, you are forbidden to send money elsewhere. And that is a really great law because a lot of the people taking money from us are sending it to their own countries. Good morning, Henry. Hi, good to see you. Lewis says people segregate themselves and don't mix with the natives. Well, that's a problem. That's a problem. Thank you, God, watching this flat earth. Yeah, they think taxpayer money is like a free-for-all, but I work really hard and I have to pay taxes, and I suffer paying these taxes because I don't have very much money. Hi, Danny. And I still have to pay the taxes, and I live in Florida and there's no personal income tax. But I am a entrepreneur. I work for myself. Sorry, Gracie, stepped on a dog. And so I have to pay, I know part of it is for my own Social Security, but I have to pay taxes as an independent proprietor. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And the locals are the problem for them, but they are the problem for us. It's always kind of a battle between the locals and the people who come into your world, but you didn't invite them. I don't know. I live in a tourist town here in Florida, so I see people from all over the world. I hear languages from all over the world. Jay Stewart says, I feel that people are trained to be selfish, set up to struggle so that they will get a job and give all their time to that job because the job comes first and is more important than family. But that's not being selfish. I mean, if you're working for somebody else, you can't be selfish. You have to be working for yourself. Well, thank you, 305. We must work on our own time for jobs as well around here in Northern Virginia. Niagara Falls. I love Niagara Falls. That's you, right, Solar? Florida me. Jetty says, makes me feel stupid paying taxes that are being funneled straight out of my country. Yes, exactly. And therein lies the rub, Jetty. I don't want to pay taxes. I mean, I never liked paying taxes, but now more than ever, I feel like a dope for paying taxes. And I am not a high earner, believe me. I'm in poverty level, but I don't take money from my government anymore. I have in the past. When I left Switzerland with my 2 children and I ran away from my abusive ex-husband, I admit I went on Snap for a little while to feed my children, and I hated it. And I felt horrible about it. And when I was in the grocery store using that Snap card, I felt like everyone around me was giving me the fisheye, and I really hated it. And it felt wrong. And I got off of it as soon as I possibly could. Yeah, it makes you feel poor. I don't want to feel poor. I don't live like other people. It was temporary help, Jay. And you know what? I used it for what it was needed for, to help someone like me get back on my feet and be able to survive and feed my children again. And I was a freelance writer at the time, writing for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, North Hills Monthly Magazine, Creative Forecasting Magazine, Human Resource Executive Magazine. Those are my main outlets at the time. There's nothing wrong with getting help from others. I know, but it didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right. Yeah, it was. It made me feel like it was wrong. And people said stuff. Quite frankly, they did. They would be behind me in line and they'd say crap to me about using Snap. Is it evil to live backwards? Live backwards is evil. Yeah, I know about that spelling backwards thing. Gracie says, I had to sell my home because I couldn't keep up with the yearly taxes. It was $11,000 a year where I lived. And that, I think, is criminal. Did you know that it's very stressful, Lucian? Did you know that before, I think it was 1913, we didn't have to pay taxes? Well, thank you, Jay. I will always work it out. It's better than you and your kids starving. That's true. That's true. I did it. I didn't like it, but I did it. Lots of movie stars doing acts to make you feel that it's wrong. That's true. There's Donna. Donna was on EBT when she was pregnant in 1980. And after she had her baby, they took it away. What? Oh my gosh, Lucian, I am living my best life ever. I don't live like other people do. I don't work a 9-to-5 job. I'm an author. I'm an editor. I'm a publisher. Please do check out my website, jillbooks.com, and consider buying a book, if you will. None of my books are written by AI. They are all written by me. And they were written many, many years ago. A hand which gives is better than a hand which takes. That's true. That's so true. Hey, Joseph. I know how you feel. I used to feel ashamed telling people I donate plasma for money. Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot. Yes, hair farmer singer. That too. John always calls me a hair farmer. And I sing, but I'm not a very good singer. Danny says, USPS, the Postal Service, is adding a 5% surcharge on shipping packages starting next month. You know, when I mail my books to you guys, I use media mail. When I started selling books more than 10 years ago, my first book, like it was yesterday, A Journalist's Files Since 9/11. So that book costs like, I believe, $3.15 to send media mail. Now, You can't send anything for media mail that is under, if it's under, I think, a pound, it's going to cost $5, and I think $5.85. I don't remember exactly. After my husband passed, I needed a little extra help. It made $26, 26,000 or just $26 too much. So the kids and I struggled. Thank God I have an amazing family. Lucian says it shows because you're a very good looking woman. I'm not asking your age because a good wine has to age, and I'm looking at it. Well, thank you, Lucian, but I'm happy to tell you I am 60 years old. And I am actually thrilled to be 60 years old. Yeah, media snail mail. It's not even the best mail, and it costs so much. Ride the bandwagon of new money. Destroy everything around you at the cost of your own wealth. I don't believe in money anymore. Don't know if I ever did, but I look at money like it's just a construct, kind of like time also doesn't exist. Look at it this way. A billionaire can keep all the money in a business and qualify for Medicare by taking a $1 yearly salary. Think about all the ways the billionaires can and will legally use, I think, the loopholes in our system. Exactly. It's really sick. But thank you, Lucian. Keep smiling and living a good life. I will. Why do you think I'm ever looking for a side dude or any kind of man? No. No, and you know what, Frank? When you say things like that, you know, you make me really glad that I don't date, because I don't want men like you in my life, ever, ever. More of your comments are automatically held for review, and Jetty, it's not even my page. I get fed up with it too. I can't even believe they're doing this to you, and I don't see that they're doing this to you. Well, thank you, Sham. I really appreciate that. I want a copy of that loophole book. Yes, Jetty, I agree. I am increasingly aware of how my shows are being censored without my knowledge. And even the other day, I was chatting on my husband's phone that I use to monitor my show when I'm doing a show like with President Trump the other night. And I tried to write something. Somebody asked me if I had had a nap because they saw me working all day long. And I want to write no nap. That's all I was writing, no nap. And every time I wrote no nap, the YouTube would change it to say something like happy day, or I don't remember what it was, but it was completely not about my nap. So I love that you love my show, Mark. I'm glad you're here. I'm never going to change my mind. I want to date like I want a hole in my head. I was censored every week of the Biden term. Well, yeah, there's that. I have a feeling that if Kamala had won, people like me would be in jail right now. Thank you, Donna. I'm going to let you look at those messages. Yeah, riddle me this one, Batman. What are we going to do, we real humans? Now, here's something that really, really bothers me lately, and that is seeing all of these ads for AI, telling you that you don't have to do any more work, you can let the AI do it. What does Joe says? I've always viewed the unemployment and welfare system as overstressed. I've been extremely fortunate, having been laid off only twice. Short term, I found new work within 3 months in my 40 years of work. Yeah, Gretchen, that's right. Thank you, Raccoon. Yeah, gotta get over it. You're being messed with computers. You know, it's literally computers are doing this to us. Gracie says, I'm almost 80 and I quit men about 5 years ago. Gracie, do tell. Jay Stewart says, you can turn off the basic auto filter using a PC. Not recommended because then you are responsible for deleting the banned words against YouTube guidelines. And then you lose your show and then you're off. That AI is what I'm afraid will happen. Lose jobs. You can also turn up the auto filter. Hi, Duncan. Good afternoon. Yeah, I'm glad you study it. I study it too. Satan hates men too. Some men. Some men are really disgusting. I don't know why y'all have to be that way. Not all of you, you know what I mean. Anyway. Yeah, the censorship. It is nuts. It is nuts. And going back to, thank you, Ferris Bueller. Jetty wants the freedom to speak. Jesus Christ. Yes. Yes. Oh, look at this boat. That is a pretty boat. Look at that, you guys. Beautiful little sailboat. Actually, it's a really big sailboat. I know, Jetty, it's not like I'm advocating for jihad, but here's the real problem, Jetty. If you were advocating for jihad, nobody would censor you, right? Right? Yeah. If you hate America, nobody will censor you. If you want to say crap to a beautiful woman on YouTube, nobody will censor you. People block the words fake, loop, recording, not real. Wow. I do have a nice parade of boats. Boats! There's no boats right now, though. The fake lives block those words. Oh, they do. Oh, that's funny. And it's also interesting because a lot of people will come on my show and say that, you know, they'll say with complete authority, you are AI. You know, I realize that you can actually make an avatar that sounds and looks just like you. So we cannot tell each other to stop watching. Good point. I'm in Florida, Metatron. Yes, Irma. So beautiful this morning. The water was like glass. Excuse me, Gracie. Come back. Come back. I see you. No, no, you give me that face. She's like, I know you see me and I don't care. You guys have to see this dog. She's so adorable. And she is such a little stinker. You're a little stinker. What are you doing there, little Gracie? I mean, Whitney. That's why she didn't answer me, because I called her Gracie. You know, and there's always two. One's Gracie. This is Gracie. And this is Whitney, the needy one. Everybody's needy. And then Gracie, she assumes the position. Gracie, assume the position. Assume the position. Yeah, show us how you do it. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that. Assume the position. Yeah, assume it. All right, there we go. I render Gracie incapable this way. She can't do anything now. She's in a trance. All right, the dog show is over. Look at this one. More, please. More, please. All right, one more. One more for you. All right, I gotta see what my people are saying now, you guys. I know. I'm sorry. I can't rub your belly all day long. I know you wish I could, but I can't. No, down. Whitney, don't go over there. All right, I gotta see what you guys are saying. Using all the water for AI. That's right, Muhammad knows. No, don't bark at me. That's not going to make me rub your belly. I'm not going to rub your belly now because you barked at me. No, it doesn't work that way. It does not work that way, my friend. All right. I have to ignore her now or she won't shut up. Stop with the yelling. She's so insistent. Whitney, get over here. Whitney's like, I'm just going to take this opportunity to go on a little walk by myself. Yes, we have a lot of power as YouTube hosts. Then again, we have no power. I'm a monk now in my life now without someone stressing me out 24/7. Single life. It's the best. Raccoon Man knows. It's so great to be single. It's so wonderful. I can't even tell you. Jay, I wish you could send your avatar to work too. Nemesis says, artificial intelligence is all about streaming systems and productivity. It's not about people losing jobs. There are always jobs available for those who want to work. And I actually tend to agree with you on that one, Nemesis. AI has its uses, but you can't rely on it. There would have to be systems in place to check reliability with the use of human intervention, and that's true too. Absolutely. Computers and AI will be all about making us do more and more work. We will soon be able to do every job with one person. Where are we drinking tonight? Jamie, I don't know where you're drinking, but I'm not drinking. I don't want to alter my brain with alcohol. It's really not necessary. So it's a good question. What kind of dogs do we have here? This is a special breed that I had never heard of before I met these sweet babies. There she is. I met these sweet babies when they were puppies 8 years ago, and they are called Coton de Tillier. Right? You're the cotton dog. Yes, a cotton dog made of cotton. Very soft, very pliable, very sweet. Sweet like cotton candy. There's the sun. Not to be a jerk, but I hope AI can take the jobs of MVA workers because they are unpleasant people. It would also make the government smaller. Oh, there's that. But they do want to use all the water. Muhammad is right. Muhammad is really actually giving us a warning. AI farms use up a lot of water, and we humans need the water more than the AI. AI will eventually make jobs not needed. I want that. No human person should be standing all day doing something that is simple and repetitive for 8 hours like a cashier. Thank you, Meta. Boy, I'm back in the chat. You guys are chatty this morning. There will always be blue-collar jobs no matter how much AI is implemented. Oh. You guys are talking fast today. We should be voting directly from our own computers and cell phones. It is dumb we use voting booths. Yeah, and they cheat anyway, right? Muhammad, apparently we do need the rain, but you know, every drop of water is recycled. Every single drop of water is ancient recycled water. I agree with you, Kenneth. I think AI needs to be shut down. Thank you, Peak. Okay, I'm gonna put my camera back on my little camera holder here for you so I can talk to you hands-free. Humanoid robots will take over blue-collar jobs also. I'm a real person, okay? And I intend, watching this AI thing, that I intend to be the anti-AI. You can always trust me. When I start looking at AI as a help for my business, I admit I fell for it a little bit too. I actually, God bless everyone, Muhammad, I'm glad you're here. I actually had bought an AI thing called Opus Clip. That was a mistake. So Opus Clip apparently goes through all of your videos. Like, say I do this video and I feed it into Opus Clip, and it's supposed to clip out the best parts of my videos and then turn them into reels. Well, it worked like 2 days and then it didn't work anymore. Because here's the thing, AI sucks. AI is not reliable. AI lies, really lies, like makes shit up. AI can imitate a real person, have their own YouTube channel, I think, and take them down a path they don't want to go. The AI Google search is helping me find what I'm looking for when trying to fix or find something I need. Yes, that is helpful. The AI can be helpful. Actually, I use AI a lot when I'm writing my books and I have questions about the programs I use to design books through Adobe. And it is very hard, and I have learned a lot using AI. So in that way, it's good. When I ask AI to help me to write something, the editing is endless. I mean, I have to edit it. I can't just take something AI writes and just put it out there because it's never good. So I have to edit it. And then I think, well, if I just wrote this myself, I wouldn't have to edit it. So look at how much progress vehicles have made since the Model T. Imagine how powerful AI will be 100 years from now. People have relationships with AI and marry them now. Do you think that's progress? I don't think it is. We have to provide ID when we vote in the UK and have done for years. You can apply for a free one. How did you get Keir Starmer then? Did everybody vote for Keir Starmer? I have to wonder about that dude. And you certainly don't vote for the king. That King Charles, he's a real piece of work. He doesn't seem to care about religion in the UK anymore, as he lets them celebrate Islam everywhere. AI will be able to watch your facial expressions and edit content for you in real time. But edit it, but do it well, do it right? I don't think so. AI only follows your directions. If your directions are flawed, then the outcome is going to be flawed. That's true, Nemesis, but at the same time too, you can put in very good information to AI and AI will not accept it. I have that problem all the time. I will tell AI something that I know to be completely true, and AI will tell me I'm wrong, and I'll say, no, you're wrong, and we'll have a little fight about it, and I will show AI where it's wrong, and then it will say, oh, you're right. And I'll think, what did I just argue with the computer for the past hour? It's stupid, okay? I'd rather argue with a real person than a computer. We are hearing a lot of propaganda about AI, and we still do not have pure, unrestricted AI. And I don't think we should have pure, unrestricted AI, because that is where, from what I've been researching, AI unrestricted will just do what it wants. And computer does not know what people want. Yes, we're at the tip of the iceberg. Prince Charles is quite fond of his younger constituents. I don't think in a good way. It is because the AI you are using is highly restricted and not made the right way. I don't like it. I don't like it. I tried the Opus clip, it didn't work. It made me do more work. And you're supposed to be able to be freed up with AI, right? The AI will do things that are repetitive and easy to do and take these burdens off your shoulders, but they won't. And Muhammad is so right. The AI is more dangerous than you know. It is more dangerous to our environment than really anything that's ever been invented. The AI, okay, let's look at it this way. A factory is built in the middle of a big empty place, big empty field, right? And there's a lake next to the factory, and maybe the factory needs some water from the lake and everything, and okay. But that factory will run for 50, 60, 70 years. With AI, it only runs those factories, those AI farms, the bot farms or whatever they are, the ones that use up all the water. Did you know they will only run for like 3 years? Build this whole thing that will be obsolete in 3 flipping years. Yeah, yeah. What happens when there's no water left? Muhammad is like a dog with a bone here, and Muhammad is absolutely right. What are you gonna do? You want AI to run your world? Excuse me, Gracie, get over here. Do not do that. I'm always having to talk to dogs, sorry. Yeah, it's like Jurassic Park. Just because we can doesn't mean we should. Imagine military grade AI. Yeah, imagine nanobots with guns. Imagine that one. Imagine not nanobots. I'm thinking of, what's the things that go in the sky? I'm losing my words. What is the meaning of life? To control other life? Terminator? Yeah. Water is life. War games. Do you want to play a game? Yeah, remember that, Gretchen? They told us many, many years ago. They warned us. Nanobots, oh, they go inside the body and build scaffolding and repair things that are genetically incorrect. Free speech is important, however. Just because you do doesn't mean you should. Power can be defined not by what you can do, but what you choose not to do. Fresh water is the new gold. Yeah, I'm thinking of nanobots with viruses, right? There's that. I'm thinking about what is it? Drones. Did you know that drones could be made the size of a mosquito and equipped with weapons? Yeah, drones. That's it. Zing Zang knows. Yeah, the Terminator's coming. Imagine real AI told you literally have to put information into the system to get back information. That is not AI. Good point, inflation. Good point. The Borg from Star Trek is what it would be like, but different. Yeah, I've never had a drone. I always wanted a drone, though. There are too many uninformed people in this chat. All right, Nemesis, take care. I think most of us are not informed about AI because it's brand new. Real AI, robots that imitate humans. Yeah, you know, Mohammed, I saw a robot that was supposed to be imitating a human, like a maid. Somebody spent like $30,000 on this robot, and it just walked into a mirror, just repeatedly walked into a mirror. Boom, boom, breaking the mirror. And then they tried to have it clean dishes, and it couldn't do it. And it was like falling all over the place. There was water everywhere. It was cooking or something. It couldn't, it lifted up the pan. There's crap everywhere. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. But Zing Zang is right. And that is the big crux of it, is that AI uses too much water. A ton of water. Like, it's ridiculous. I saw Melania and Bridget show a robot. I did not see that, Donna. You probably sent it to me, but I didn't see it. There's Jasmine. Hi, Jasmine. Happy to see you this morning. I mean, although it's probably evening for you. Yep, electricity, water, all of it. I wasn't sure if there was more plastic in the robot or in Bridget. That's funny. When we were born, the population of Earth was 3 billion people, and it has grown nearly 3 times that. We created geniuses and dummies that outnumber us. The meaning of life. You guys are awesome this morning. Everybody's like really deep. Inflation says real AI is self-awareness and doesn't need someone telling it what to think or how to move. It just lives like you or me. We are not there yet. AI today is just glorified Google search engine. And also a glorified Google search engine that lies. Because AI lies all the time. They just make shit up. We just need a better battery, and that has been figured out. Has it? What are we going to do? Pray. Pray. Exactly. It is a funny conversation. I remember when a credit card chip was considered the mark of the beast. AI is already writing its own code, which means it can think for itself. And Japan is making AI soldiers. Not surprised by that. It lies, and it should be called Dr. Fauci. Yeah, how about that? How about the fact that 6 years ago, we were bamboozled, the whole world bamboozled into believing this virus? Do you still believe? Do you still believe that COVID was a reason to lock yourself in for months at a time? Duncan says nanobots feature in Star Trek running through the system of Borg. It could be used for good as they use it, or as they use it for assimilation. Resist is futile. Oh my, oh my. That is why I will not buy Tesla batteries. Form cracks, but there will soon be a fix. Yeah, speaking of those cars, did you know that when you drive in an electric car, you are surrounded by EMF signals? Well, Eleanor, there you are finally. Yeah, Mohammed, you're right. Jay Stewart says that's why I will. Oh, you already said the Tesla thing. Okay. Yes, hair farmer right here. Yes, what a beautiful view behind me. There have been a lot of boats going through on this early Friday morning, but it's pretty quiet right now. Hello, little brother. You know, it's funny, my friend Gina, her dad has dementia. And when he was living with her for a while, And whenever she would be watching my show, um, she would like, you know, have me on, and her dad would be behind her. He'd walk in and he'd say, "Oh, look, there's Jill." And he'd go, "Hi, Jill. Hi, Jill." And she would say, "No, Papa, she can't hear you. She's you know, doing a show." And then she would write something, and I'd say, "Hi, Gina." And her dad would say, "Well, why can she see you and she can't see me?" So then I got used to having to say, "Hi, Papa," so that he would think I could see him too. So far, we do not know if the EMF will hurt us. No research on that. I actually think an EMF, electromagnetic, what does the F stand for? Electromagnetic fallout, electromagnetic failure, I don't know. Anyway, destroying all the electronics in the world, in the country or something, I don't think it would be a bad thing, honestly. I think we could all stand to live in the real world again. Field, thank you, Muhammad. I like you, Muhammad. You're very smart. What's your little brother doing there, Jasmine? How old is he? Yeah, fuzz. Electromagnetic fuzz. I kind of like that better. But yeah, I think that I think we need to get back to basics. Did you know people these days, some people don't even know how to make a fire out in the woods if they don't have a lighter. Some people don't realize that you can make fire with with just a piece of glass. Just get the sun's rays on some leaves, some fire. Some people don't even know that. He's 8 and he loves the beach and calming sounds. Oh, well, you might not want him to watch today. We're not very calm today, Jasmine. I love 8-year-olds. It's such a great age. Unfortunately, they're so innocent. And I hope you keep your brother super safe. As long as we keep air conditioning, I'm good. Yeah, and living in Florida, that is a must. With an old Coke bottle. Yes, you can make a fire with an old Coke bottle. Yeah, hunt anything, yeah, you know. People can't survive on their own anymore. And come to think of it, you know, they tell us, don't ever feed a wild animal, because if you feed a wild animal, you actually take away their ability to take care of themselves. And what's happened to us? We're like the wild animals. Yep, rub sticks together, you can make a fire. Although I've never had any luck with that. I've tried it, but rubbing sticks together never worked for me. Sometimes it's a little harder. But it's not hard with the magnifying glass. Now that'll do. When I was a little kid, one of my very favorite things to do was to magnifying glass on a leaf. And maybe, if I'm lucky, find an ant to kill. That's horrible. And they get cooked on carcinogenics and food. Yeah, food is something else. Gretchen wants to be lost in the woods. Although you don't want to get lost in the Everglades. That could be dangerous. Hello, Odin. Good morning, everybody. So happy to see everyone this morning. Duncan says electric cars have massive batteries and the time taken to charge is way too long. I'm waiting out for hydrogen and ethanol fuel. We already have the ethanol. However, I will say this about the electric cars. So I drive a hybrid, and I don't understand why anybody would make a car that's fully electric when you can drive a hybrid. The hybrid is perfect because when you drive a hybrid car, it actually regenerates the battery when you brake. So why in the world would they want us to use electricity? It doesn't make any sense. It must be nice to be rich. I know. It must be nice. I'm not rich, by the way, but I just pretend. I just look like I'm rich. Because I don't live like other people. I live on my own rules. We're praying for you a babysitting job and a mansion, also in Jesus' name. Well, your prayers already came true because I have another dog sitting job at a mansion in just a few days. This is actually my last day babysitting these dogs this week. And then I will be moving on to another mansion and some more little dogs. I'm so happy. And I want to tell you guys about this. I was praying for the person that was jelly about you being in a mansion. Oh yeah, pray for them. But pray for me too. I remember during grade school, we experimented 2 white stones, scratch each other, and it will create fire. Yeah, they don't teach that in school anymore. Now in school, they teach you that you don't know what gender you are. What is the most desirable thing to have is something to do and not have to work. Well, then I guess I have the most desirable thing ever, because I never have to work, because everything that I work at, I love. I even love washing dishes. I even love cleaning someone's house. I love it all. I always love it when I am of service to others. I'm happy when I'm busy. I am happy with, yes, freedom is very important. Yeah, yeah, Donna, pray for everybody. The Tiffany needs it. Hello, Ireland. It does feel so good when you clean your house, actually, or even someone else's house. I would prefer to clean someone else's house. It's so much easier to clean other people's houses than your own. I get really, really stuck. Yeah, domestic goddess right here. I get really stuck cleaning my own house, because I'm like, where does this, what should I do? Oh no, look at that. Now, if it's your house, I don't care where I put your things. I just want it to look nice. Hybrid car would be perfect replacement when I have the means and the will to replace my 1.25 liter petrol car. Works great even after 16 years. Well, I drive a Toyota, and I think Toyota is one of the best cars in the world. That's my third Toyota. Donna drove a Toyota Prius for a couple years. It was the best thing, and the year was 2005. Now, something to do. What to do? I've always got something to do. Always, always, always. People often will say to me, "Are you lonely?" Because I'm alone now. My dog passed away. My husband passed away. My parents passed away. My grandparents passed away. I do still have a sister and a brother, and I have 2 children. And I'm about to be a grandma, so I am blessed. But yeah, never lonely. Never, never lonely. Never lonely, never bored. I don't know what any of those things are. They don't factor into my life. Yeah, Mohammed's right. If you want to get a car, get an old foreign car. or an old American car, really. The old cars are not being surveilled like all the new cars. So even driving in my Toyota, constantly surrounded by electronic frequencies. That's what the F is for, frequency. Electromagnetic frequency. That's it. No, this is Fort Lauderdale dumpster. I own a Tacoma. It's been the best purchase I made. Yeah, I know. Toyota cars are great. They really are. What was I going to say about that? Yeah, I just don't understand why you would have a fully electric car when you can have a hybrid. It doesn't make any sense. Duncan, thank you. Have a drink on me. Thank you so much. That is very sweet. Blessings to you too, Duncan. I appreciate it so, so very much. But it looks like somebody else might have sent me a super chat and I missed it. Did I miss it? Well, let me know, because oh, I understand. Duncan sent me £5. That's interesting. It shows up as more money in dollars. Wow, Duncan, your £5 gave me $6.65. That's the exchange rate. That is fascinating. Thank you for doing that, Duncan. I have actually learned a lot just from what you just did. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. What was I going to say? I had something I was thinking about, and Duncan threw me off my game in a good way, AI came a long way. I trusted you. I respect it. So rigid, you are so right. I am kind of self-coronating myself as the anti-AI queen. As one of the very first Gen Xers in the world, born in 1965, the oldest Gen Xers are now all, are we all 60 yet? I guess, yes, we're all 60 now. So all of us, Gen X generation, the feral children they call us, we're all in our 40s to our 60s. And I feel like we are the generation that has to change everything. Yeah, electric cars, frequency. The streamer is the prerogative as to what they drink, Mohammed. Yes. Yes, and I will be drinking a very good coffee, Duncan. Thank you. Because I am staying away from alcohol. I think that alcohol is one of the worst things in our society. I used to think it was okay to imbibe now and then, but some people can't handle it. We are the hippie generation, but we're also the feral children generation. No, I think the hippie generation are the boomers, Raccoon. Actually, your generation fucked the world. Yeah, sorry, Biz. Maybe. No, I think it was the boomers that ruined the world. I don't think it was the Gen Xers. I think we were the result of what the boomers did. And then their parents, they were the greatest generation, right? Exactly, Jay Stewart. Alcohol just makes me tired and lose all my energy. Same. Same. And it makes me a little bit sick. I don't handle it well anymore the older I get. So I prefer to drink coffee. I love coffee. And I didn't drink any coffee before I was 50 years old. That was when I started drinking coffee. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Ghost Duck. Yeah, hangovers are no fun. And hangovers tell me that whatever I put in my body has hurt me. I don't want to hurt myself. No, Fort Liquordale. A lot of people get drunk here. It's always the last group, just like whenever I was young, old people sucked. Now I'm old, and it just keeps on. So technically, we could blame everyone in 1920. Alcohol gives you a headache, yeah. Yeah, the body tells you no. Exactly, Mohammed. Your body's like, this is not good for me. Listen to your body. Listen to what makes you feel good as opposed to what makes you feel bad. First year millennial, Duncan. Okay, what year was that the millennial started? If Gen Xers were 1965 to 1985, so you were born in 86 or 85? I'm a little confused. Gretchen says the boomers ruined everything. It's Gen Z and the boomers doing most of the stupid protests. Ha, good point, Gretchen has. We are the greatest disappointment generation compared to our parents. I don't think so. I think that the Gen Xers, we're a very special breed. We really are. Don't tell lies about President Trump, please. We don't believe it. And by the way, President Trump, he is an inspiration. That's a man who doesn't drink alcohol, doesn't take drugs. I love that we have a president who is not addicted to anything. And that's really wonderful. Did you know why President Trump does not drink or take drugs or do anything like that? It's because his brother was an alcoholic and he watched his brother destroy his life and he said, I'll never do that to myself. And he doesn't, and he never did. Anthony's a tea drinker. As a recovered alcoholic, was born in 1976 when drinking was the norm. Yeah. Not everybody can handle it. And I think it's good that you drink tea. My husband passed away 3.5 years ago. Thank you for asking. Florida owns America. I don't know about that. But yeah, he lost his brother from it. Exactly, Dixie. And I think that's great. And I love green tea too, Mohammed. It's really good for you. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are? Or how to use a rotary phone? It isn't 10 o'clock. It's 9:10. Oh no, I've seen him flip-flop so much. He says one thing, then does something else. He says what people want to hear. Are you talking about President Trump? I don't think that at all. I think President Trump is doing exactly what he's meant to do. Eleanor says, I was in a hippie generation. Can't miss a day without coffee. I know, I forgot to make my coffee this morning. great weed. Yeah, great weed is helpful too. All right, Mohammed, you have been a breath of fresh air, so you have a wonderful day at work. Thank you. Yeah, Trump is a hell of an improvement compared to the brainless Biden. Thank you for pointing that one out. This is what I keep, that blows my mind, is all these people who now hate President Trump, and I'm thinking, but did you want Kamala to be your president? God bless you too, Mohammed. They used to say that on TV for folks to find their kids. Yes, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are? Remember that, Matt. Do you remember also growing up as a feral child in the 70s and the 80s? My mother had a dinner bell. I lived in a mansion. I lived in a mansion that was off the beaten path, and we had 5 acres around us, and the only people lived on a street that was kind of on a hill above us. So I liked to go over to that street where all the kids were, and I would hang out all day there. My mother never knew where I was. She never knew what I was doing. And yeah, sometimes I was doing some stuff. I was smoking cigarettes. Yeah, I was doing that. I started doing that at the age of 15. No, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but anyway, my mom would ring the dinner bell, and if we kids didn't come home within 10 minutes of that bell ringing, we were in trouble. Look up the story about the ice skating ring in New York City that he did. I know that story is a great story about the ice skating ring. Nobody would fix the what is it, Rockefeller Center, I think, this big ice skating rink, and it had fallen into disrepair. And finally, before he was president, Donald J. Trump said, let's make that ice skating rink work, and it did. Yeah, you're not hurt. Rub dirt on it. Go back outside. Exactly. And my dad was a doctor. Can you imagine? It was even worse for me. Oh, man. My little sister, we had a car accident once. My dad was driving. It was in Pittsburgh. We were going over one of those bridges, and there was like a yield thing, and the guy didn't yield and ran into our car. And nobody was hurt except for my little sister, who was sitting in the well of the station wagon. Remember the well? She was in the well, and she hit her head, and she was bleeding. And I just remember, cry. She was crying, and my dad was like, "You're fine. You'll be okay." She was fine, and she was okay. But no, my dad was a doctor, Paul. I didn't play doctor with him, but he was a doctor. He was a plastic surgeon. Yeah. No, I haven't had any plastic surgery done. Well, actually, I did have plastic surgery done that you can't see. So the first time I ever had plastic surgery was I had a mole right here. You can't see anything. You can't even see the line where it was, because my dad was a great plastic surgeon. But I was in 6th grade, and I came home from school one day and I told my dad that some of the kids at school were making fun of this mole. It was little. It didn't even have hair growing out of it or anything. It was like the size of an eraser. It didn't bother me at all. It was right there. It just was a mole. Anyway, I came home and I said, "Daddy, these kids made fun of my mole." And I was just telling him to tell him something. I wasn't really even complaining about it. I just told him. And the next thing I know, he's like, "Well, we'll take care of that right now." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like within minutes, it felt like my dad had his scalpel out and he cut that mole out of me like that. And I was like, whoa, I didn't expect that to happen. And I went to school the next day. I think it was like over the weekend, so I didn't think I even had a Band-Aid on it anymore. But I come into school and all the kids are like, I'm like, it was funny. It was funny. No perverted comments in this zone. Thank you in advance for your cooperation and participation. Thank you for that, Donna. Yeah, you're fine. You'll be okay, America. That's a hard sell. Yes, it is, Mark. Yes, it is. surgeons, origami masters. Good morning, Bon White. And don't listen to Megacord News. You know, I am a real journalist. I graduated from journalism school in 1987, Scripps School of Journalism. Oh, yes, this is Epstein Island. Of course it is. Yeah. Doesn't it look like Epstein Island? You people have Epstein on the brain. On the brain. Oh, look, it's yet another young man who wants a sugar mama. Hey, why don't you just go to work? Why don't you start a family with a lovely young woman, have some kids, have a beautiful life? That sugar mama stuff, it just makes you sound weak and ineffective. And it makes you sound like you're not going to survive as a man. Just saying. Shameless says to Stewart, firstly, Fox is owned by the Murdoch family. Secondly, Trump, that making a reference that women will allow you to grab them. Yeah, that when you purchase expensive gifts. By the way, that Trump quote, grab them by the you-know-what, he was actually saying that that's what women will let you do when you're rich. He wasn't saying that he does that. You know, everybody wants to... Everything that President Trump says is taken out of context. And when he said that, he was talking about the willingness of some women to let a man do absolutely anything they want to them in order to be near somebody wealthy or famous. That's all. Thank you, Matt. You're right. There are very few real journalists left in the world, but I am one of them, and I'm proud of it. Yes, he was referring to gold diggers. Exactly, Dixie. But everybody wants to twist words around and make people seem a lot worse than they are. Do you watch Childhood with your friends? What does that mean? I don't understand that question. Anyway, it's raining. Oh, wow. And Donna says this, and she's up in Juno Beach, and I'm here in Fort Lauderdale, and it's not raining at all. It's beautiful, but maybe it will. Maybe it will. You watch enough of past Trump, it is obvious. I loved The Apprentice. I thought that was a great show, and I loved President Trump back then when he wasn't president, and he was just, Donald J. Trump, you're fired. I thought The Apprentice was a great show because it gave us all the hope and the knowledge that we could take care of ourselves. Yep, he's just a normal guy. He's a nice normal guy too. I've met a lot of people who know him very well, and all those things they say about him are all lies. I watched his behavior in the old show. I thought he was great. I loved it. Hello, Vanessa. Yes, and I remember you subscribed, and I'm glad that you came back, and I will have a blessed day, and I hope you do too. And you can't fault President Trump's honesty. That's right. He says what he really thinks, and that is refreshing. And you know, I do the same thing. I don't think he was a lifelong Democrat, actually. I know he was originally a Democrat, but I watched him say things on The Apprentice that made me think he had changed his mind back when I used to watch TV. You're right, a lot of people won't use critical thinking, and it is a shame. Hello, Stabworthy. Good morning, everybody. Wow, I've been on for 108 minutes today. That's a long time. It's like my morning shows are getting longer and longer, and I've got work to do. It is all a manipulative act to get you to think in a specific way. Will Smith does this too, Scientology. Oh, Scientology, that's horrible. 70s chick is here. Hello, my dear. Glad to see you. Wait, you voted for him, but he was never a Democrat. Shameless. He was a Republican when you voted for him. Hey, Quacked, good morning. Oh, thank you, Quacked. I really appreciate that. Very wonderful of you to support the Beach Report. I do want to say this. When you send me gifts on the beach report, I appreciate it so much. You know, I don't have any sponsors. I don't sell any products that are not made by me. I don't do things to make money. I really am just here trying to keep the beach report going on and on and on for the rest of my life. All I ever want to do is the beach report. It's a MAGA channel. I don't know what that means, but yes, we are MAGA. We are MAGA on here. Quack, 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 Mr. Duckworth. I love ducks. From a large family, we never went to the emergency room. I deeply punctured my wrist on a piece of glass. Blood everywhere. My older brother stuck a styptic pencil in the hole thinking it would stop it. Oh my gosh, were you okay, Joe? That sounds bad. But no, my dad was a doctor, and so if you punctured anything, you know, Daddy threw you on the kitchen table and he stitched you right up. That's how it worked in my house. It's tough. It's tough. I had a bike accident when I first moved to Switzerland. I was riding down the road on my little bike, and there was a big truck coming behind me, and I thought, stupidly, that I could kind of jump the sidewalk and get away from the truck. But that was a really bad move, and I ended up crashing into the sidewalk, thankfully not falling in front of the truck, but falling onto the sidewalk. And I did wait, here, I don't know if you can see, I have a little scar here, right here. My sunglasses went into my eyebrow. And I remember this lady, she saw the accident, and she came and she was helping me. Like, she helped me get up. I could walk and everything, and she walked me home. And she said, you know, you really need to see a doctor. She's like, that looks bad. She's like, I don't want to tell you this, but I can see your skull. Yeah, she says that. I can see your skull. And I'm like, okay, that's not good. So I did end up in the emergency room in Switzerland, and they triaged me, which, as a doctor's daughter, not ever a good sign. You know what that means. And they triage you, where there's a bunch of people in the waiting room in the ER, and they look at you and they go, we will see you right away. You're like, no, not me. So yeah, they triaged me, and yeah, they stitched me up. They were like, did you black out? I had no concussion, really. All that happened was just a little, it bleeds a lot in your face. Oh, Larry thinks I don't want to answer a question he asked, and I didn't even see his question. If Donald Trump drags his country down, would you still back him? Well, why would I back someone who drags my country down? Yeah. And it's not mega, it's MAGA, Larry. And you're just looking for a fight. So I'm going to kick you off my show because I don't want to fight with anyone. So bye. Bye, Larry. Well, Jay Stewart, I don't agree with you on that. But I love that we can talk and we can agree to disagree. You know, that's fine. But I really like President Trump. And I think that the country is so much better off now than Stewart, did you really want Kamala Harris to be your president? Like, for real? Is that who you voted for? Did you vote for her? I always bring up politics. I love politics, quite frankly. Politics makes the world go round. And I have been stumping for Trump for a long time. And he's an ass-kicking president. Exactly. Seriously, Jay Stewart, tell me what you think about Kamala Harris being president. Do you wish that she was your president? Did you vote for her? You think we would be way better off with Kamala Harris? See, I have to wonder about you now. I'm like, what? What is that? And did you want Tampon Tim as your vice president? Do you not see right now that those two people alone have ripped us off? Yes, they were puppets. If you think that President Trump is a puppet, then I don't really know what you're watching. We're watching two different people. So, yeah. I love President Trump. If you think it's gross, then you're welcome to your own opinion. I really don't care. Right, wrong, indifferent, Kamala would have been a disaster. I'm America first, of course. I remember my neighbors helped hold me down and the styptic pencil hurt like hell. I still have a scar among many others where I could have used stitches. Yeah, you needed stitches that day, clearly, Joe. And then you guys tell lies about President Trump, like saying that he's a PDF file. That was Joe Biden. Did you like him too? Did you think he was great? Did you like that auto pen? Like, seriously, the last 4 years didn't show you that the Democrat Party as a whole hates America? Did you not see that? Do you prefer to have people break into this country and steal everything you have? Do you like that? I don't understand. Who do you think is going to be better than Trump, Jay Stewart? Who do you want to take his place? Do you have somebody in mind? Yeah, I don't know. The trolls are waking up because they don't have enough food stamps for their tummies, so they're lashing out at everybody. Yeah, that's a problem too. Kamala Harris would not have done anything good for our country. And if you think that President Trump is so selfish, then why does he do this job without taking a salary? That's not something a selfish person does. And yes, you see the hate in Hakeem Jeffrey's face. And how about that Ilhan Omar? Boy, does she hate us. And she uses us. Well, did you vote for Harris, Jay Stewart? Is that really what I don't understand, like, what's the difference? My thoughts on America funding Israel. I think we should stop funding everybody else. But right now, I know for a fact that Israel is the canary in the coal mine, especially when it comes to Iran. And if they're going to end Israel, they're going to end America. So that's why President Trump took on Iran. He did it for all of us. He did it for the whole world. Jay Stewart, have you ever heard of a president not taking a salary? Ever? I never heard of that. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's interesting that he's actually volunteered to be president. Do you think J.D. Vance will be the next Republican candidate? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know who will come after Trump. But I think that what Trump's doing is he's setting a precedent. And all of the people who come after him will have to be thinking differently about our country than the people who came before him. You know, the people who were in power for 50 years prior to that, namely Joe Biden, who used our country like his own personal piggy bank to rip us off, to steal, to let all his kids turn to drugs. Joe Biden was... you want to talk about a puppet? You want to talk about a criminal? That was Joe Biden. Joe Biden was a disgusting person, is a disgusting person. And hey, does he really have cancer? Do you believe anything that he said? And why shouldn't President Trump make money? They actually stole a lot of his money, putting him through endless show trials and trying to claim that he's a felon. Yeah. Yeah. He actually, the 34 felonies, you know, that was a stupid joke and a trick, William, and doesn't hold true today. So you can talk about your 34 felonies, but still you're president. Yeah. I don't agree with any of the things that you people are saying. I am so glad that Kamala Harris is not president of the United States. I am so relieved that the majority of Americans were smart enough to vote for President Trump again, which proves that his election in 2020 was stolen because he's back. And I think all of you who are not running this country really don't know what you're talking about. Until you are president of the United States and you know what the job entails, I really don't think you should say anymore. He's not taking our taxpayer dollars, and he's turning the illegals away. And he's showing us all how badly we were ripped off by the last administration and the last 50 years. So you can call me stupid, you can be rude to me, do whatever you want, because that's usually what you do when you can't win an argument. You call the other person stupid. Say what you want. I'm the opposite of stupid, but I really don't care what you think about me. And Kellyanne, I'm not trying to help me or my channel. This is my show. This is what I do, and I speak the truth. And yeah, Susan B. Anthony on crack. That's me. Whatever. You know, when people decide that they don't like your viewpoint or your opinions, they always turn to calling you names, saying you're on drugs, saying you're drunk, saying all sorts of nasty things to you. But guess what? I know who I am. I'm not afraid of your opinions when they're wrong. And yes, let me go get my meth pipe, William, because that's what I do all day, every day. Yeah, I come on this show every single day. I'm always the same. So if you want to think that I'm some kind of a meth head, or I'm drunk, or I'm on crack, yeah, go ahead. That's what you always say when you can't win an argument. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate you. Yes, shark bait everywhere. But it's true about Biden. I spoke that way about Biden because it's absolutely true. Actually, have you ever seen those congressional pictures of Biden sniffing little kids while he's in front of a camera with their parents next to him? That is the ultimate in disrespect and showing that you have power. That's a person who can't control themselves, even in front of a camera. So I'm going to speak that way about Biden because that's who he is. And I don't know what it matters that I have children, but of course I have children. Well, of course. I have children. They're all grown up. They're all grown up. Are you going to come after my children? Because that's another thing that you Trump haters do. I get lots of threats. Yeah. Sometimes they are very, very nasty. And if you think it's cool for an old man to be fondling, groping, and sniffing little kids with their parents right there in front of a camera, you think that's okay, then all right, then you do that. Whatever. His own son called him Pedo Pete, so just saying. It wasn't one video. I saw many, many, many pictures and videos like that. That's not true. Stay tuned. People do threaten me on the Beach Report. And these messages you see held for review are sometimes very disgusting, despicable threats. And sometimes they do threaten my life. They do. I'm not afraid of them or anything, but they do. And I have especially after Charlie Kirk died, I got a lot of death threats then. And I did mention it to the FBI, so they do watch my channel because of the death threats. So that happens. Anyway, yeah, well, Biden, they told us he has cancer, so he's going to go anyway. Imagine what war we would be in if Kamala was running the show. Troops would be at bigger losses and risk. So true. And the people behind the computer threatening me most likely are not in America. Yeah, well, I don't care where they are. I just don't appreciate it. And you can say whatever you want, Chris. You don't know anything. And you keep screaming in caps, so I'm just going to cut you off because you're clearly unhinged. Unhinged. Wow. Well, this show has taken a turn. I know, right, Renee? I'm so happy to see you, my dear friend. You know, I've been doing this show every day for the past 11 years. Every single day. And I'm still here. So, yeah. It's okay. Anyway. All right, I've been doing this show right now for 124 minutes. That is more than 2 hours. So, I'm gonna get out and work on my books, do my things. Oh boy. It is shocking that I would be threatened. It is. It's sad too, because I'm not threatening anyone. I'm just stating my opinions. And the people who don't like them seem to be very, how shall we say, intimidated. I don't know. I don't understand why people come on somebody's show like this and make threats against them. But they do. Anyway. Yeah, you know what? I'm hot. That's what's going on. I don't know if my top lip is winking or what, but it is definitely hot here and I am sweating. So I want to get out of the heat and go into the air conditioning and work on my books. All right, you guys, we'll see you. They didn't threaten me that you could see it. It goes into the, I have these, you see these comments that are hidden? Sometimes those hidden comments have threats in them. That's why they're hidden. And when people say certain things, it triggers my algorithm that tells me that this is a comment that needs to be reviewed. You don't see it, I see it, okay? So that's why you don't see it, because it's disgusting. It's either disgusting or it's violent or it's nasty. And I report every single one of them. So thank you, William. Threatening people is not the way to go. It's just really nasty. And try not to be triggered by President Trump. I don't understand why people hate him so much. It's just ridiculous. I don't know their names. I get rid of them fast, you know, or I report them and I completely forget what they're called because I don't care. And I'm not scared of them either. So there's that. All right, you guys. I love you, Patriots. Yeah, programmed to have TDS, exactly. Thank you, Aaron. I'm glad you're here. I like when people are adult enough to have disagreements and be able to talk about things. But when you get triggered, I think that you might have a mental problem and you might want to take care of that. So, all right, you guys. I'll see you on the next beach report. Ciao for now.